This 3-inch lift kit from Freedom Offroad gives you all of the things you need to lift your 2007 to 2018 Silverado or Sierra 1500 and get you the performance to match. This is a really complete kit that's going to be easy to install and will also enhance your truck's off-road performance without sacrificing on-road manners or your wallet. Now before we dive in too deep here, just a quick note on fitment. This kit is designed to fit all 2007 to 2018 Silverado and Sierra 1500s, excluding 2014 to 2018 Denali models. As you've no doubt been able to figure out from the name, this is a full 3-inch front and rear lift kit, so it's going to give you that more aggressive stance here after while also leveling out the truck, so your truck is going to sit nice and even front to back. That additional height also means you can fit some pretty chunky tires on here. Specifically, we're going to recommend 33-inch tires so you have plenty of options, and so they definitely won't make any contact with the trim or bumper of your truck. That means you don't need to do any trimming. Now you can fit some 34s on here, but we like to stick with 33s so you have more options and so you can get some extra room for articulation if you do go off the beaten path. Now to get that extra 3 inches of lift up front, you get a set of fully assembled struts with new springs, new shocks, and new top mounts. Not only does that make things super easy when it comes to installation, but everything is designed to work together perfectly, and these shocks and springs are designed to work on your truck specifically. So these are application specific. That's all gonna mean that you get that additional height, but it won't compromise your truck's ride quality. The shocks here are high pressure twin tube nitrogen charged units, so the damping performance is better than what you get from your stock shocks, but the ride quality is gonna be similar. So if you are taking your truck off-road, these can handle whatever you throw their way, but they're not gonna beat you up on the way back home. Now the springs are where you get that additional height from, and again, these are designed for lifted applications, so they get you that height without making the ride all crashy. Now in the rear, you're gonna get a set of matched shocks to complement the front ones, along with tapered lift blocks to get you that additional height. So the truck again is gonna sit nice and even with everything installed, and you'll have a matched set of shocks all the way around, so the damping is gonna be exactly what you want it to be. Now as far as lift kits go, this is rather complete, giving you everything you need and really nothing that you don't need. The shocks feature powder-coated aluminum housings with chromed hardened piston rods attached to 40mm diameter pistons. The springs are made from cold wound steel and are finished in a black powder coat for additional protection. These rear lift blocks, these are made from carbon steel, so they're very strong and they should last you a long time. Plus you get new hardened rubber bushings for both the front and rear shocks, the new top mounts, and all the additional hardware you need, including extended length U-bolts for the rear to get everything installed. Pricing for this kit comes in at about $475, making this a really affordable option, especially considering the height and everything that's included. So if you want good on and off-road performance with that additional height, this kit is a great way to get it for a really good price. Installation gets a 2 out of 3 on our difficulty meter, and the job should take you around 3 hours to complete. Now everything here is designed to bolt right into place, so you don't need to make any additional modifications to your truck. And you don't even need a spring compressor since those front struts come fully assembled. We're going to walk you through the installation process now though, so for that, let's head on out to the shop.
For this install, you need a 1/2 inch and 3/8 impact, a pry bar, 3/8 ratchet, a 22, 21, 15, 13, and 10mm socket, a 21, 18, and 15mm wrench, a hammer, a clip removal tool, and also not shown be a lift and pull jacks. All right, today we're gonna be installing a lift kit on our Silverado. First, we're gonna watch a quick video how to uninstall the stock stuff, then we'll come back here to install the new parts.
All right, let's kick off the uninstall here. The first thing we want to do is remove the brake line brackets and the ABS line brackets so that when everything's loose and at full slack or full droop, it's not putting pressure on these lines. There's a 10mm right here and a 10mm right there. So grab your 10 socket and get those two off. Now what I like to do, just so we don't lose the bolt, is just thread it on a couple of threads right back in the hole while the bracket's loose. That way we know where it is. Same thing back here. Take that bracket off. I'm just gonna lightly thread it back in, just like that. All right, next up, we're gonna loosen up the top nut for our sway bar end link. In order to do that, however, just because there's not a whole lot of room to work with, I'm gonna put a 15mm wrench on the nut on top and use my 15 deep socket on the bolt going through the bottom, and that'll loosen it up. And just like that. Now you don't have to take the entire end link straight down, just wanna grab that nut off the top, and if you can, take the bushing off as well, and just set those aside. All right, next up, we're gonna loosen up and remove our tie rod end. Grab your 21mm deep socket and get that guy off. All right, now something to keep in mind here is that if you take this off, then this whole thing's gonna start moving. What I'm actually gonna do, now that it's loose, is just put the tie rod end back in and just put this in a couple of threads. We're gonna want this to be pretty stable for the rest of the uninstall, at least up until the point of the upper control arm coming off, so let's just keep that there for now. Next, we're gonna be loosening up and removing the nut on the bottom of our upper control arm where the ball joint connects to the hub here. Now, in order to do that, you're gonna grab an 18mm ratcheting wrench. That's at least what I recommend because there's not a lot of room here. And this is where we want the stability of the tie rod end because we don't want this thing moving back and forth. So let's crack this guy loose. All right, now once this is loose, what we're gonna do is take the nut completely off and then thread it back in a couple of threads. All right, so it's on a couple of threads there. Now we can grab a hammer and start tapping on the side to dislodge the ball joint. There it is. So now that we have everything loose, let's take our tie rod end completely off. I'm just gonna put this nut back on so we don't lose it. Now we can swivel this guy out. We're gonna push down and remove the nut here. Okay, once this nut is off, I'm gonna set that guy aside. This upper control arm is gonna pop out, so you just wanna be there to support it. Make sure the lines are out of the way. Now that's free. Now we wanna remove the two bottom strut bolts. They're 17mm. Keep in mind, once these two guys come out, the entire lower control arm is gonna drop down, so just watch your head. The next step here is to remove the top three nuts. They're 18mm, and then the entire strut will come out. Before we can do that, grab a panel removal tool or something similar. There are these little clips holding onto the front stud, and then the one closest to the front of the vehicle here on our driver's side. Just gonna pop those guys off. Same thing on the opposite side as well. So once you have those off, grab an 18mm ratcheting wrench and get those three off. Okay, once you have all three off, the strut will drop down and you can take it off. Okay, set it aside. Now when it comes to the uninstall, you can repeat that exact same process on the other side. Moving on to the rear, the first thing I want to mention here is to properly support your rear axle. Now because we're using a lift and we're up in the air, I have two pole jacks, one on each side, close to the bottom of the shock there. Now if you're working on the ground, you want to make sure you're using a hydraulic jack, in which case you can put it right underneath the rear diff. If you have a couple of them, you can go on both sides, but the rear diff will be sufficient. At this point, everything you do to one side, you simultaneously want to do to the other. So once you have the weight taken off with it jacked up on both sides, again, we're using the pole jacks, we're going to start by removing the bottom shock bolt. But once you remove that, same thing on the other side, and then we'll get to the U-bolts. For this, I'm going to grab my 21mm deep socket on my impact gun. I'm using air, but you can use a regular cordless impact if you need to, or a ratchet. I'm gonna put my 21mm wrench on the bolt head and take this guy off. Now, if your bolt is tight, you wanna jack up just to take the pressure off of that guy and then start working it off. All right, do the same thing on the other side. All right, next up, again, it's very crucial that you have the weight supported underneath. Again, I'm using pole jacks. This is the absolute part where you need that to happen. You're gonna use your 21 deep socket and we're gonna start removing the bolts on the U-bolts underneath where that cradle is. So we're gonna start taking these guys off. Now, one thing I would recommend is loosen them all the way to where they're just hand tight. You can pop them off by hand because this guy's gonna start to drop off. So you don't wanna hit all four and then it just fall to the ground. I just like to leave the nuts on a couple of threads so we can easily catch it. I'll just put this guy back on a couple of threads and then just work my way around. Okay, so now we can start taking these guys off. And once you get to the last one, This cradle is gonna come with it, so just pull that guy off with it. Next, we can lift up the factory U-bolts because we'll be replacing them. They're not gonna be long enough for the lifted application. Pull those guys out, set those aside. Now, before we start lowering this side down to replace the factory lift block, we're gonna repeat the exact same thing on the other side, and then we'll start swapping them out. All right, from here, you can slowly and carefully start lowering these guys down. I recommend lowering them simultaneously, but you can go one after the next. Just make sure you're doing a little bit at a time until it's loose enough to get it out. Now, before moving any further, I did throw a pole jack underneath of our drive shaft just to add some support to it. It starts to slouch backward. I started to put a pole jack there and jacked it up just to support that drive shaft so it doesn't tilt backward. At this point, we can start continuing moving downward. Now, we're already pretty loose. I'm just gonna go a little bit more on both sides. All right, at that point, you can go in, grab that factory block, and slide that guy out. Set that aside, repeat on the other side, and we're good to move on. Just to give us a little bit more slack on the rear axle, I'm gonna remove the 13mm bolt on the frame here, holding up our e-brake cables. That way, there's not a lot of tension being put on it. Grab a 13 socket and get that guy off. Once that's off, just lift up that hook from the frame, and now this guy's loose.
Now we're gonna continue with our uninstall. We just have to uninstall our factory rear shock. We already have the bottom mount out. We just have to take our top bolt out. So we're gonna grab our impact and 21mm socket, just take our top bolt off. So we'll take our bolt out, and we can remove our shock. Then you can go ahead and do the same thing on the other side. So now we're gonna put our rear blocks in at the same time. Now there is a tapered edge, so the smaller side will go towards the front of the truck. So we're just gonna drop them under our leaf springs. Drop this down a little bit more. And get this side in. Then we can bring the axle up evenly together, and then we can get our U-bolts on either side. All right, so we'll get them nice and flush, and we can get our U-bolts over and get our nuts on the bottom. Now we'll get our U-bolts over our axle. We're going to reuse our factory bottom plate. So we'll get that over. And then we have our supplied flat washers and nuts. Get those threaded on. We'll grab our impact and 22mm socket and tighten these down. Now we have our impact and 22mm socket. We're gonna tighten down our U-bolts in a crisscross pattern to make sure they're nice and even. Next, we can get our top mount for our shock in. So we're gonna slide that up. We can go ahead and thread that in. Then we're gonna grab our impact and 21mm socket and tighten that down. Now we have our bottom mount. Now if you need to, you can raise or lower the axle. We just need to compress our shock a little bit. We'll let that drop into place. Slide our bolt through, and then we can go ahead and tighten that down with our impact 21mm socket and a 21mm wrench. Now once you have this side all secured, you can go repeat those same steps on the other side of the truck. Last thing we need to do in the rear is assess this bracket here. Now since we dropped it down about 3 inches, as you can see, it's not gonna reach anymore, so we just need to pop this off. We have a bracket further back, so there's no harm. We're just gonna pop it off our cable like so, and bring it down, around the other one and out of the way. So now we're gonna come up to the front here. We're gonna start by installing our new front strut. So it's gonna slip in under our upper control arm. Get our bolts lined up, and we can just let that rest on our lower control arm right now. So on the bottom of our strut, we have our supplied bolts and nuts. Now they're gonna go in like the factory, heads at the bottom. We're just gonna loosely install these now until we get our top nuts tightened down. Then we can come back and tighten these down. We get that loosely in, let's go to the top and get our top studs on. Since we left those bolts loose, we have enough slack to get these up and get these started. We'll thread them on, then we'll grab our 15mm ratcheting wrench and tighten these down. And after that, you can just stick your wiring harness clips over our new studs and secure them out of the way. Next, we can tighten our lower strut bolts. So they are a 15mm nut and a 13mm head. So we have our impact 13mm socket and 15mm wrench. So now we're gonna get our upper control arm into our knuckle. So let's get this started. Just see if we can get our nut started. If you need to, grab your pry bar. Just push down a little bit. It's enough to get a couple threads on. Then we're gonna put this up in the air more, get our pole jack under it so we can tighten that down completely. So as you can see, I have my pry bar here on the upper control arm. I do have a glove on it just to stop it from scratching. It is just on this bottom ledge here, just to get us some leverage. We're just gonna pull down and thread this in as much as you can by hand. And then we're gonna grab our 18mm ratcheting wrench, tighten that down. You may need to put tension on it just to keep it from spinning. All right, just a few more things on this side. We're gonna thread our nut on for our tie rod. Grab our impact 21mm socket, tighten that down. Now we can reinstall our sway bar link. Just gonna reassemble it. We have our top bushing with our nut. Thread that on, then we're gonna grab our impact 15mm socket and a 15mm wrench to hold the nut. Tighten that down. Lastly, we just have our two 10mm bolts for our brackets. So we'll thread them in here and here. We'll grab our ratchet and 10mm socket, tighten those two down. And once you have this side all put back together, you can go to repeat those same steps for the other side of the truck. And that wraps up our install of our Freedom Offroad 3-inch front lift struts with rear lift blocks and shocks for our 2007-18 Silverado 1500. And remember, for everything Silverado, keep it right here at AmericanTrucks.com.